Well, hi everybody. I am Dr. Christine Anderson, or Dr. Chris as my patients call me. I am a chiropractor based in Los Angeles. I've been in practice for over 30 years, and I love what I do. I love being able to help people, and I love having a variety of tools in my tool belt to do that. And if you know me, you will know that I absolutely love essential oils. Now, I love how most of them smell, although there's a few that I love more than others. But they also have, or can have, I should say, therapeutic properties that can help support our body systems. And the heart system is not exempt from that. So I want to dive right into this with the top 7 essential oils that I picked out to support heart health. There are so many. At the end, there's going to be some honorable mentions, but I did pick 7 because of with things like essential oils, they don't just do one thing. It's not like a drug that you take for a particular problem. It's more, they have chemical compounds in them that have certain properties, and what they do for the plant, they can also do for us. So these are super powerfully concentrated substances that really are potent when it comes to helping us. Now, essential oils just in general, and I will put a link to my Essential Oils 101 class that I did if you want a more in-depth look at what essential oils are and how they work and what they do. But in a little nutshell, in an encapsulation, they are concentrated extracts from plants, mostly roots, bark, flowers, herbs, trees, like lavender, ginger, tea tree, eucalyptus, that type of thing. But they can also be cold pressed from the rinds of citrus fruits, as in lemon, lime, orange. And there are also resins that are tapped from things like the frankincense tree and myrrh, and also copaiba. So that's kind of what happens. It is from the plant world. And with these oils, there's a multitude of ways that you can use them. They can be inhaled directly, they can be diffused, applied topically to your skin, oftentimes using a carrier oil, which actually can enhance their absorption. And what's really cool is that because of the way they work, they're super small molecules, so they get into our systems very quickly and disperse throughout the body within minutes, really. And some oils can also be ingested. As a matter of fact, with the company that I love and pretty much exclusively use, which is Ylang Ylang, they have a line of vitality oils that is labeled for internal use. Okay, so it can be generally regarded as safe. So think about it, okay? Like the rind of an orange is edible. We don't usually eat it, but you can. All right, same thing with the lemons, and same thing with oils like lavender, the plant lavender. People make lavender tea or peppermint tea, right? So we have these things in the herb family that we use and ingest, and we can do it with using the essential oils, especially as we know with Ylang Ylang, they're labeled as such, so you can be assured that they're safe to ingest. Now, just a little note. Whoops, sorry about that. It's crucial when you are looking at essential oils to know the source of the oils that you are using, and I go into that in Essential Oils 101. So please do look at that because not all oils are created equally. I found out this the hard way, and I go into that in that story. But you have to know, how are they grown? What's the soil they're grown in? How are they distilled? How are they picked? How are they packaged? How do you know that they're 100% pure and not cut with synthetic oils, which is the majority of the oils out there? Let's just put it this way. If you're going to your health food store, or especially someplace like Bed Bath & Beyond or Walmart or Target, you are most likely not getting, I'm almost 100% sure you're not getting pure essential oils. And if they're not pure, they won't have therapeutic values because of those chemical constituents in these oils. That's what creates the therapeutic values. So if you're getting a perfume oil, when that's synthetic, it may smell okay for the time being. By the way, if you put that away and take it out years later, it may not smell so great. With pure essential oils, they don't generally degrade over time. So, which is great because things like basil and peppermint I can have in my kitchen and actually use the vitality oils in my cooking. Just in case I don't have basil, right, and I want to make some pesto, well, I can put a little bit of essential oil in there and have the therapeutic values and that amazing taste and smell of basil. So you definitely want to make sure that you're getting high quality, pure essential oils. They're not cut with synthetics. They're not exposed to toxic chemicals, which some of them in the processing are. So it's super important to do your research. I do have a brochure that I can get to you that looks at the kind of main essential oil companies and goes through everything and compares them. If you want that, just contact me. All right, so let's begin on our top 7. So number 1 is lemongrass essential oil. Now remember I just said that these essential oils have constituents and chemical compounds in them. Well, in lemongrass we have terpenoids. Now, I'm not going to go all the way into what this means, but basically it's this fact that they have terpenoids that they have the ability to possibly help decrease cholesterol, decrease circulating lipids, and improve insulin resistance. And hopefully you've been watching my heart-based videos. If you haven't, I will put all the links in the description so that you will understand why these things are so important. I don't want to go into it completely, but a lot of what goes on with heart disease and heart health has to do with insulin resistance. So lemongrass really hits a ton of those check marks with what we know are health risks for the heart, and also helping with chronic inflammation, which we know damages our blood vessels, and then the cholesterol has to come in and basically seal those areas up, and then creates a plaque, and that becomes a problem. Cholesterol is just doing its job. And the antioxidants are the things that join hands with free radicals, not, a crazy radical group, but they're unpaired electrons that ping around. They age us, they create disease, and they mess up and damage the inside of our arteries. And so lemongrass actually can help increase, when we're taking in antioxidants, whether it's from food or supplements, it's going to help with making sure that their activity is increased. So amazing oil. So you can use this in many ways. If you get the Vitality lemongrass, which Young Living has, you can take that internally. Super yummy, right? You can make a tea, you can put it in your cooking or your food. You can apply it topically. Remember, that will get absorbed into your bloodstream and have those therapeutic effects. So you can mix it with a carrier oil and just rub it on your body. The feet are great because they've got a lot of surface area. There's also the points from the rest of the body where you have your whole organ system mapped out there. So you can even rub a little extra on the heart point. And maybe one day I'll go over a little bit of foot reflexology. You can also put it in your diffuser and inhale it. You can spray it. You can just sniff it right out of the bottle. So lemongrass essential oil is such a great oil, and I will put all the research in the description for you, how I got all this information. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, bergamot. And this is a really interesting citrus fruit. Now, we don't usually grow it in the US. It's usually grown in the Mediterranean, but you can see a picture of it there. It looks kind of like a bumpy lime or lemon, and it does have the same qualities of a lot of citrus fruits, but in particular, bergamot is great for doing things like decreasing blood pressure, decreasing heart rate, increasing heart rate variability. I talk a little bit about this in my last episode I did on the stress response evaluation, but basically heart rate variability is that your heart rate increases as you inhale and it decreases as you exhale. So you actually want to have a good heart rate variability, and there's different aspects to this where you've got a lower and a higher, and I'm not going to go into the depth of it, but basically when you're looking at the variability, if it's too high or too low, then you're looking at problems with the autonomic nervous system, especially sympathetics, which are triggered with our fight or flight or chronic stress. Or it can be an aspect of the conduction aspect within the heart, because this is all an electrical system where we have top-down control from the brain to the heart that tells it to be, and tells it to be in a coordinated fashion, which is another reason why chiropractic is so essential if you want to have good heart health. Because if you don't have that top-down control of your brain and you have a whacked out autonomic nervous system, then you can have issues with your heart, even if you're doing all the other things that they're telling you to do medically. And just also a little bit of a caveat, or whatever, but look, this is for your information only. I'm not telling you to go out and take all these things, especially if you have heart disease. You do want to discuss this with your healthcare professional. If you don't have one that you're working with as far as functional integrative care, that you think, oh, they're not going to really know what that is and what's going on, you can always reach out to me. I do work with people virtually, or I can maybe help you find someone in your area. So, I don't want to just leave you out there hanging on a limb, but this is for informational purposes only, not meant to diagnose or treat anything. This is just some things that you can use to help support. And I just realized I spelled bergamot wrong in the title. Oh well. Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's heart rate variability. Bergamot, just like all other citrus oils, by the way, if you are having any, you're kind of down in the dumps, you need a little perk up with your energy and your mood, get to a citrus oil. If you don't have essential oils, you can just grab a lemon and rub it and smell it, because it's going to be uplifting. It's going to reduce your stress. It's going to help with things like anxiety. So by diffusing them, it's going to really get it into the air, and citrus oils are amazing to diffuse. And that's how I would recommend that you use bergamot. Or you can also use the vitality oil and use it in your cooking, and take that internally. Or you can apply it to your skin, but just beware that all the citrus oils pretty much are phototoxic, meaning not really phototoxic, but photosensitivity. So if you put a citrus oil on your skin and go out in the sun, you have a greater propensity to burn. So you just have to be aware of that. Don't put it on anywhere that you're going to be exposed to the sun. But they can be helpful for skin health. I just use it in my nighttime routine. So, just a few little caveats there. So when they were doing studies, they saw that when bergamot was used, there was a decrease in salivary cortisol. And so, believe it or not, we actually, our saliva tells us a lot, and there's actually an immune component to our saliva, if you didn't know that. And it can be affected by stress, which will be a function of the hormone that we make, which is called cholesterol. So that's what that's referring to. It can help improve sleep. it can help with the release of neurotransmitters. Those are brain chemicals, and there are some that are really associated with helping to calm the body and to sort of chill out and be calm. Well, two of these are dopamine and serotonin. And you may know serotonin from um, if you eat turkey, which I don't. But at Thanksgiving, it has tryptophan, which then is a precursor to our serotonin. And so you get kind of like, whoa, okay, I'm really chilled out. Um, with dopamine, it's one of the brain chemicals that are good for just giving you a sense of well-being and can have an effect to quash any impulses to reach for comfort foods. So that's a really good thing to do with bergamot. Now, this is the essential oil. Go back to when I talk about the 5 top supplements for heart health, and in there's a supplement that has bergamot in it, but it's using the juice of bergamot, and it has even more beneficial activities for the cardiovascular system. So I'll put the link to that. Don't worry, you'll be able to find it. All right, let's go on. So here we are at number 3, and this is Ylang Ylang. And this is something that is very balancing for the body. So I always think of this as yin and yang, or male or female, very balancing and keeping a homeostasis in the body, which is a place that you want to be to have optimal functioning. So it's going to help with just everyday stresses. It's been shown to help with blood pressure and decreasing heart rate. It has a sedative effect, but it's not going to knock you out. It's just one of those like chill out essential oils. And there was a study done in 2013, and what they found, along with the lavender and bergamot oils with Ylang Ylang, that it helped to reduce the cortisol levels, as well as the heart rate and the blood pressure. So it's got just so many benefits to it. It's used in a lot of recipes and formulas because of this balancing effect. So this is such a great oil to have for every day, and especially for your heart health. Okay, marjoram. So we're back. It seems like we're back in the kitchen, right? So with marjoram, studies have shown that this essential oil can help reduce myocardial oxidative stress. Oh my gosh, what is that? Well, myocardial is basically the heart muscle. And that heart muscle has to pump hard enough to push the blood through the rest of the body, and then it comes and circulates back around again. Well, actually, the oxygenated blood goes to the body, and then it goes back through the heart, and that gets oxygenated and comes back into the heart to be pumped out again. So it's a beautiful system. But the oxidative stress comes in. Remember those free radicals? Well, when they are plentiful, that creates the oxidation, that creates the aging, that then makes the arteries more prone to having plaque buildup from cholesterol. And we make cholesterol in our body. It's not just things that we eat. So our body makes it for a reason, because we do need cholesterol. It is something really necessary. So lowering it, we don't want it too low, guys. So if we can do this, making sure that we don't have any oxidative stress, then the cholesterol is going to be able to be used for what it's needed to, including making our hormones, instead of repairing damage in our arterial system that can lead to a heart attack. So this is why marjoram may help prevent a heart attack. And it's actually been used in traditional Moroccan medicine to treat high blood pressure for many years, like hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And its ability to help with blood pressure comes from the fact that it helps to dilate the blood vessels. So when you have more surface area, if you got a bigger hole, right, then not so much pressure builds up. And that's the idea behind blood pressure. So it's also very calming and stress reducing, and it again reduces and decreases that salivary cortisol. So I will put all the studies in there that you can look at with marjoram essential oil. All right, let's go to Clary Sage. Look at that flower. That's so gorgeous. And I really love Clary Sage. I actually use it for hormonal balancing, and that's a topic for another day, but it is one of my favorite oils. I really like the smell of it. So that's just me, but it's been shown to reduce both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Systolic is when your heart's pumping, it's working. That's a higher number. We need it to be higher. But when the heart is filling, which is the diastolic number, we don't want it to be so high. If it's too high, it means it's not going to fill enough. And then it won't have so much blood to pump around, and then we won't be getting enough oxygen and nutrients to the rest of our body. So it also helps to reduce respiratory rates for those who are using it with aromatherapy, and this is based on a 2013 study that I will put in there. And studies have shown that Clary Sage also will help reduce stress and have an antidepressant-like effect too. It also increases circulation by opening up those blood vessels. It relaxes the arteries in the body and lets that blood kind of flow through. It improves cardiovascular health by being or having those antioxidant properties that we talked about. Remember the free radicals? Here they are again. Anti-inflammatory properties of Clary Sage. So wherever we have inflammation, that is going to create that opportunity for damage to occur in the body. And this is where the high blood sugar comes into. It creates a lot of inflammation. So we definitely do not want that. And this is where Clary Sage comes in, and it also may help to lower cholesterol naturally if that's what you need to happen. Such a great essential oil. Love Clary Sage. Rosemary, so yummy. I mean, who of you does not, when you go for a walk, if there's a rosemary plant there, I just run my hand along it and smell my hand. It's like, ugh, I love rosemary. So, so good. It's also good for your memory. So, such a great one to diffuse or just put right on your temples with a little carrier oil. But for our cardiovascular system, again, it's got those antioxidant properties, so it keeps us squeaky clean on the inside and no rusting. Reduces blood lipid levels if that's an issue for you, and I talk a little bit more about blood lipids in other videos. Stabilizes blood sugar and increases circulation. And Young Living, again, has a rosemary vitality essential oil that you can use in your cooking, your dressings, as well as you can apply it topically to your body. Like I said, I like to put it right on my temples, or you can diffuse it in your diffuser. Really super nice in the afternoon. You know, when you might be a little bit foggy from the day, just trying to get through the day, right? Okay. Last one, eucalyptus essential oil. And this is such a great one, and this is one I love to diffuse in my bathroom. It just is so fresh. And usually if I'm in the bathroom and I'm taking a bath, this is one I like to diffuse as well. And it's probably no accident that spas diffuse eucalyptus a lot, right? Because it acts on our autonomic nervous system. And that is our sympathetic, or our gas pedal and brakes, which is, or the parasympathetic, which is the brakes. And so if you have too much of gas pedal, too much go, 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 fight or flight, That's going to take a toll on your autonomic nervous system, and I cover that in my talks on the stress videos that I'll put in the description. So this helps to balance out and calm down those sympathetics and get those parasympathetics working, which are more the rest, rejuvenation, digestion, that type of thing. So it really helps to balance out the autonomic nervous system, helps then reduce that cardiovascular overload. Remember, if your heart's racing and beating and pumping and it can't fill enough, that's going to create quite an overload on the system. And then that's, of course, going to have the effect of lowering blood pressure, which is going to make everything work as well. So that is the 7. And then a couple of honorable mentions. Gosh, it was so hard when I was choosing which ones to put in this talk. But a couple of really high frequency essential oils like rose and frankincense, and just think about the heart and more like the emotional side, and rose helping maybe if you've had any grief or issues going on that you just need some support there, and frankincense when you are trying to meditate and breathe and really just go inward. Jasmine, just so amazing. I mean, such a great scent. It's uplifting. Tangerine, lemon, both citrus, uplifting. Melissa is the lemon balm, and that has so many great properties, including helping with mood. Lavender, we know it's so helpful for just calming our systems down, helping with sleep. Valerian also can be helpful for sleep. Cypress for circulation, same thing with juniper. Helichrysum is good for so many things, but it can be helpful for cholesterol as well. So there's a couple more there for you. And right after I finish with this, so literally minutes after I finish with this, I'm going to be going over to my Young Living with Dr. Chris YouTube channel, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about these oils and what they do, just a little bit more in depth. But you can always reach out to me at my website, losangeles-chiropractor.com. You can watch my shows here on Dr. Christine Anderson Chiropractor. I do a new show live every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And if you subscribe and hit the bell for notification, then you'll get notified when I go live. And sometimes I post extra videos, so that way you'll know when I'm coming on. With my Young Living with Dr. Chris, I typically go on at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or whenever I'm done with this, because I'm running a little late today. So you can watch that there. And through that channel, you can learn more about essential oils and what Young Living products are. And if you have any questions about essential oils or Young Living products, or if you're interested in getting some in your hot little hands, I can certainly help you with that and make sure you're getting the ones that are going to help support your system. You just need to reach out to me, and you can do that again through my website on the contact page. All right, everyone, this is it for February. So next month, I'll be talking about a different topic. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see what I come up with. All right, have a great week. Bye now.